1952. All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. We got a good Fun with Joe game later on. I'm looking forward to playing with Robin and Joe. Today is National, it's National Irish Coffee Day. So if you know somebody who can make Irish coffee, go have some fun. It's got whiskey in it. So I don't know. Do you have to have whiskey in it, Robin, or can you have like a non-alcoholic Irish coffee?
I guess you can have a virgin Irish coffee if you want.
Irish? I never heard that.
Yeah,
okay.
Because it's so fluffy and everything. I mean, and then just, to whiskey or not to whiskey. That is a coffee.
I actually, I like the Irish creams that the little green coffee creamer things that they give out at the
convenience store.
Yeah, thank you.
Get coffee. Yeah, I like those.
But today's National Opposite Day, so the Fun with Joe game today is in order to get a point, you have to say exactly the opposite of what the answer is.
Oh, okay, that'll be fun.
That's going to be fun. So we gave away some tickets during the break to the Hogtown Medieval Fair.
Yep.
We still have the tickets to the circus. If anybody wants them, just let us know. I wasn't able to get to every call. The Hogtown Fair seems very popular.
Yes, it does.
And now I mentioned, because you mentioned to me, the what do you call them again?
What?
The women?
Oh, the wenches.
The wenches. You call them wenches. Okay. And what was your selling point to me?
Because you can see their cleavage.
Cleavage. That was your selling point to me.
And bare feet.
Well, that doesn't turn me on.
Oh, okay.
But cleavage does. And so
I like the bare feet.
I like bare feet. I'm okay with bare feet.
Okay.
But I'm not going to snap my head at a bare foot. Now, some guys do. I know. Everybody's different. So the question is why? Why, Robin? Why do men love breasts so much?
Oh.
What is the reason for this?
Because you guys don't have them.
That might be true.
They're just intriguing, and they just. Well,
science has actually studied
so
this.
Nice there.
I had a theory about this. I'm going to tell you my theory.
Okay.
Which is, keep in mind, I'm a musician, I'm a radio guy, I'm an artist. I have no science background at all. But I do have a theory about this. My theory is that we are attracted to breasts because of the table.
Oh.
Yeah, my theory has always been because of the table. Because basically, when you're dating, you're sitting across the table from the lady who you are considering to be your forever lover, right?
Yes.
Right. That's the whole idea of dating, right?
Yes. Right.
In normalcy. Now I know this on the non-normalcy, but I'm talking about in normalcy. Okay. Mm-hmm. So back in the caveman days, there were no tables.
Right.
Right. So we would be attracted to butts. Basically, right? We were butt men.
All
exactly.
Of us were. Exactly, butt men.
So when we got more civilized and we had to have dating with tables, you're sitting across, you can't see the butt anymore. So so you had to evolve into some other kind of attractant.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so that's my theory.
Okay.
This is what scientists say. Ready? Let's see. Scientists have never satisfactorily explained men's curious breast fixation, but theorists theorize. And they say that this is a defining feature of mammals, of course. It's mammary glands. It's how the milk is produced for the offspring.
Okay.
Humans seem unique in granting mammary glands a large attracting role. That's not to say interest in them is entirely unheard of elsewhere in the animal kingdom. Mm-hmm. In the book, Biological Exuberance, Animal Sexuality, and Natural Diversity, Canadian biologist Bruce Bagamiel notes that a couple of primate species, including humanity's close relatives, the bonobo,
oh, never knew that,
have been known to also be attracted to the mammary glands of the opposite sex. Would be the male to the female, I would think.
Okay.
Researchers have speculated that humans evolved the deposits around the mammary glands, the fatty deposits, for sexual reasons. Anthropologist Owen Lovejoy
okay. He has a nice profession.
Argued that evolution put the bullseye around both. What? In order to promote pair bonding. Whatever. I think my theory's better.
I think so too.
Anyway.
I think it's a great theory, the table.
All right.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the table theory's got.
Yeah, because you don't see anything else.
This thing is way too complex.
And that's how come you invite ladies out to dinner with them, fellas.
I don't know. Today's National Opposite Day. Just to remember, just
Okay.
National Opposite Day.
Okay.
All right, we do have tickets to the circus. We want to make sure you get some. We've got 4 of them.
Yes,
And we need somebody to call in to ask for them. The only question we're asking you is, do you want them or can you use them? Will you use them?
Yes.
And if you can't, maybe somebody else you know can. We would love to give them to you. We would love to see you at the circus. And P.S., we had a guest earlier and kind of threw us a curveball because he told us he was going to be at the Freedom Public Library, and we didn't know. We didn't know he was scheduled to be there. So that sounds really cool, too. He was one of these the water conservancy guys on the boats, enforcing the laws on the rivers here in Florida. So he'll be speaking this coming Saturday at the Freedom Public Library. What time did you say?
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Backcountry lawman.
Bob Lee is his name. Bob Lee. Okay.
Very interesting fellow.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Larry. I'm interested in the circus tickets, please.
Okay, who's this?
Grace.
Grace, you got him. Robin will put your name on them, and they'll be with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good to hear from you.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We used to see Grace all the time. Gosh. Feels like forever since we've done some of those things.
Oh, I know.
We used to go every place and sketch. We still go places and play music, though, which is kind of cool. Still like doing that.
Yeah, very cool.
We don't really do children's shows anymore, although last Thursday, we were able to do one at Hammett Bowen.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
By the way, isn't there a Hammett Bowen announcement that we're supposed to make about veterans parking? Let me see this
Here it
thing
is.
here. Marion County Public Schools wants to recognize local Purple Heart recipients for their patriotism, military service, and ongoing volunteer efforts at our schools. Elementary schools will have a parking spot permanently reserved every day for Purple Heart recipients in our community. This effort and the sponsorship of the sign by the Marion County Veterans Council provides ongoing recognition to those well-deserving veterans who've given so much and continue giving to our community, county, and nation. Kevin Christian sent us this from the school system.
Yep.
Marion County School System. Hammett Bowen Junior Elementary School is named for Hammett Bowen Jr., who is Marion County's only Medal of Honor recipient. Hammett Bowen died on June 27th, 1969, when he threw himself on a hand grenade in the Binh Duong province of Vietnam during the Vietnam War. His heroic actions saved the lives of 3 of his men. He was just 21 years old when he died. Bowen attended and graduated from Marion County Public Schools, so that's why we have a school named after him. We have a history with this, if you don't mind me sharing it. Years ago, when I first started doing this shift, which is 15 years ago now, it was coming close to Veterans Day, and I had offered to do a portrait of a veteran. Simply, I could only do one. Obviously, I don't have enough time to do 100 of them, but so I had asked our listeners to send me some names of people and give me a little bit of a background story of somebody who they think should have a portrait done, a veteran portrait. Okay. And so we had a winner, and it was just such an honor to be able to do that portrait. And the bad part was I felt bad because there were so many other really great names that were submitted that I just you can only do what you can do, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, the lady who got that portrait, to this day, I have a warm spot in my heart for her.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
But anyway, we got a call after we picked the portrait for, I think it was her husband, right?
Yes.
We did?
Yep.
I did. I got a call from somebody who said, you should do a portrait of Hammett Bowen Jr. And I did not know that name at that time. I did not know who he was. And it was explained to me that he was in the Vietnam War. He was a recipient of the Medal of Honor. Am I saying it right, Robin?
Yes.
Medal of Honor?
Yes.
And that he had saved the lives of 3 of his men, et cetera, et cetera. So I obviously was moved enough to do the portrait. So the Kingdom of the Sun concert band did a concert at Forest High School, which is now the Marion Technical Institute, right? Mm-hmm. So they had a concert there. Hank Whittier was there with, of course, Les Muncaster and the band was there. Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets was there. The lady who, and I don't want to name her, I haven't forgotten your name, but I just don't know if you want me to say it or not. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she was there. And so we presented the portrait to her. And then Mr. Bowen was there. Hammett Bowen Jr.'s father and mother, I think, were there.
Yes.
And so we presented the portrait of Hammett Bowen Jr. to Mr. Bowen. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, it was sweet. It was sad because this is their son, and he hasn't been around for decades after dying in the Vietnam War. And there they could see their son again in a full-color portrait that I did the best I could to, of course, try to get the complexion and everything right.
It was beautiful.
And so we gave it to Mr. Bowen and the family, and it hung in their home for a very, very long time. Well, the veterans were really, really working hard. Hank Whittier, John Rose, Joe Albano, who's since passed away,
Don Williams.
Sergeant Curley,
Oh, yeah.
Don Williams. So many people were working really hard to have a school named after Hammett Bowen. And I think there were 2 times where the school board said no.
Yes.
And then finally they said
no.
yes. And that's the school we now have called Hammett Bowen Junior Elementary School. Mm-hmm. So when the school was finally opened, Mr. Bowen donated the portrait that I had done of his son to the school. And in fact, we saw that portrait last week when we were there with the children. It's still hanging in the front office.
It's beautiful.
And so it's always been a point close to us both. We learned a lot from that experience. And anyway, it's just sharing that little story with you. I feel like I was going to tell you a little bit more, but that's all I have.
It's beautiful. And the commemorative coin that the veterans had made.
The veterans made
from the image of the portrait.
Right, the veterans made a commemorative coin.
Yes.
All right, we will take a little break. Fun with Joe coming up in about 10 minutes. It's going to be opposite. Opposite is the name of the game today. We'll be right back.